Yeah, I think I could just echo the sentiments of Austin. Just, what he was talking about during those early years, during the highlight culture, mixtape culture. Obviously, we had N1 mixtape, Hoop mixtape, Ball is Life, Yay Area's Finest. I could go down the list of all the websites I used to have to go to just to catch a glimpse of the talent around the world. Not just nationally, but internationally. So you had to earn your keep. You had to earn your mixtape, and I'm just grateful I got a chance to grow up within that generation and lead it in a way where I could have a legendary mixtape that high school players could look at, middle school players could look at, and the young guys could keep that, young girls could keep that for the rest of their lives. So I'm grateful. The highlight culture? Present day, yeah. I mean, how many people actually watch the full 40-minute game or 48-minute game or 32-minute game that high school kids play and actually break down film? I don't think it happens too often, but I give my credit to the basketball students of the game that really love it, enjoy it, and don't just praise talent based on all the makes and highlights. You know what I mean? Highlights only show the makes, but you got to show the highlights and the lowlights and just be a complete basketball player learning from your mistakes. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a fresh trade, so, it's going to be a figuring out process. And I wouldn't call it trouble. I just, we've dealt with some ups and downs throughout live games, and that's our only way we can really grow. I wish we could have training camp together where you guys don't see some of our mistakes, but we're living it out in front of you guys. So for me, I just have to prepare to be an incredible teammate, of course, but also be selfless enough to change my approach game to game. I got to be flexible and adaptable.
Kyrie, this is your 8th AllStar game.
You said what? No regrets. I had a plan in place where I wanted to stay in Brooklyn long term, be a net. It's a dream come true for me. Obviously, I wish things could have worked out for the best of all of us in terms of winning a championship and etching our names in the history of the NBA. Those are big aspirations. It sounds easier said than done, but I had an incredible 4 years. I'm grateful to all the people I met throughout the whole entire organization, but I have no regrets. Went through a lot of personal battles myself, had a unique journey. And now I get to speak on it truthfully and know that I've grown as a person, grown as a player, and now I can move forward and reflect on the rear view when it's time, but move forward with Dallas and the teammates I have now. So I'm grateful. Yeah, yes. Was I ever not picked first? Of course. There was a time where I definitely was unsure about who I was gonna be as a player. I think what clicked for me was just the inner confidence, the inner knowing that my work will carry me forward. And all the pickup games that I played in New Jersey made me who I am today. I played against all generations, all walks of life, not just in New Jersey, but I spent a large part of my time playing in New Jersey that really gave me that chip on my shoulder that I have now, that ability to play with anybody and everybody, and then also compete at a very high level with kind of the crowd being on your side or against you. I'm used to that East Coast ruggedness, playing outside and just going after it. And hoop is most important. We just get our respect that way, on the East Coast, and we take pride in that. So I'm grateful I got to be part of that East Coast. Yeah, I don't know who created the term load management or, guys sitting out games or, this narrative that continues to play on about star players or guys not being available. I don't know who started the narrative, but it's completely run amok. I think it's dehumanized some of us in terms of just the way we prepare ourselves day to day. This is a 24/7 job. We have cameras on us all the time. It's a high-level combative sport. It's very aggressive. Nobody knows how anyone else's body heals unless, the only person that knows is the person that's hurt or injured. We try our best to tell you guys what's going on, but You have doctors online telling everybody that he needs to be back in 2 weeks. You got, this person over here saying that he's not really hurt, he doesn't want to play. So I think the narratives have run amok. But us as players, we really take pride in preparing ourselves at a very high level and performing not only for our families but for the fans that support us. We're nothing without our fans. But just think the narrative needs to change in terms of this low management. It's 82 games, it's a long season. I'm not saying we can't do it, but we're in 2023. We have all the technology necessary. We have to use it wisely, and we have to be very communicative about what the plan is for everybody individually. Everybody's body is different. So you may see somebody heal in 2 weeks, but it may take someone else a month and a half to heal. It's just different. So that's all. Appreciate the question. Of course. Yeah. Way to yell out. Way to yell out. I appreciate y'all.
If you could have any other career,
If I could have any other career, I'd probably be one of those people that does hotel reviews, travels around the world and does a whole bunch of reviews on what I think about the 5-star treatment that I got or the 4-star treatment. I'm obviously joking, but that would be a great career, just to record YouTube videos all day and just say how I feel about the experience. But I have so many interests outside the game, but I think that's probably a story for another day. Of course. Yeah. What's a bad situation, and why doesn't anybody have the ability to ask for trades? That's my question. It's just, when did it become terrible to make great business decisions for yourself and your happiness and your peace of mind? Not every employer you're going to get along with. So if you have a chance to go somewhere else and you're doing it legally, then I don't think there's a problem with it. Again, the speculation and narratives is what makes this entertainment kind of seem a little bit more important or more priority than it actually is. Like, it's my life. It's not just a dream that everybody can gossip about. I take it very serious, and most of the work that I do doesn't get seen, so I don't know if it'll ever be truly appreciated. But all in all, when you work as hard as I do or anyone else at a specific profession, I feel like you should have the liberty and the freedom to go where you're wanted, where you're celebrated, and where you feel comfortable. So I wouldn't say any of my situations were bad. I just think they were lessons in growing within the business of the NBA and learning that every organization is different. You guys may group, I don't want to say you guys, I think people may group all of the NBA teams as one general group, but it's individual organizations that are run completely different. And you got to honor that. And you got to do research on who's actually running the teams. So that's what I've learned most as a young man coming into this business, is I got to have a professional side as well and not just worry about my talent all the time. What do you say? My favorite would be my first experience of AllStar, which was in Orlando in 2012. I got a chance to see a lot of the Hall of Famers that are no longer in our league play at a high level. Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, KG. I was still around during those quote-unquote super teams or guys that were veterans that were always in position to win championships. So the first one, definitely Orlando, my first experience at AllStar when I was a rookie. Huh? I won MVP of the rookie sophomore game, and I bombed the skills event. But other than that, I had a great time. I don't really have a preference. I just think I would love to see some competition in an All-Star game and actually make it worth the fans' while and just come out and compete. I know we have a second season to get ready for, but it's one game to play against my peers and separate ourselves, separate myself, and I take it in a different, serious tone. So I'll come prepared tomorrow and get a feel of the game, but other than that, I'm coming to do my work. Of course. Jose, MVP, what up, baby? What, I had to join the West? Oh, man, who sent you up here to ask that question? I know, you already know. Always got body, always. What's up, Trey? Man, I wish I could say Trey Murphy, but Trey Murphy. It's been my favorite. That's my favorite. Gotcha, of course, bro. A Dougie battle? Oh man, John Wall, easily. You remember his first game, right? You remember his first game. I don't think I Dougie my first game. I definitely didn't Dougie my first game. Nah. I hit it, but nah, not like John. You said, what do I want to be asked? Man, I just would love questions that don't make me give the same regurgitated answers that everyone else is giving at times. You know, it's just we're greatly professionally media trained, you know, but also I love questions that go deeper into the nuances of the game and break it down in a way that just isn't talking about the trendy narratives that are around certain players. Like, I don't talk about players as if, you know, they're acts or they're actors or, you know, they're just not people. Like, I just genuinely want to get to know, you know, people on a face-to-face basis. And when I get asked questions from the media that help me go deeper into my thinking, I appreciate it. So. Oh, y'all have super teams now. Hey, man, all these cultural terms are gonna dissipate in like a year. I promise. Super teams, load management, all these other like terms. Okay, I got you.
If you had to build a team, it's great since we're not using super teams. Who are you putting on your team for the WNBA?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Obviously, Diana at my 1. I'll put Candace at my 4. Brittany Griner at my 5. Maya Moore at my 3. And then I got trying to think, Jewel Lloyd at my 2. Yeah, I'll come off the bench. For our ladies, yeah, I'll come off the bench. Yeah. What you say? I've only been around him for 2 weeks, but you know we've had incredible dialogue, and you know, being at the arena and also being at the practice facility for a little bit, we get to know each other a little bit. But I'm looking forward to the time that we have after this All-Star break, where we have some home games. We can break some bread with our families and just really include everybody that's going to be on this journey with us. Mm-hmm. Man, I would love to see that. The American-born players and international. I finally get to be on the side that I'm supposed to be on, the international player side. You know, Aussie-born man over here, so I take pride in where I come from. But I think any way to get the guys going in this All-Star game to put up a target score or have some type of, you know, material incentive rather than monetary, you know, where we can have just bragging rights for that night. It just made the competition a lot more fun a few years ago. Right now, it's kind of like, I don't know, sometimes it could be boring as a player because no one's competing. And I come to the weekend, I get stretched, I do everything little, and then, you know, we don't play as hard. So I can't blame the guys for not doing it, but for me personally, I want to play hard. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I mean, anytime, you know, any of us players could be in financial position to buy a team, to put in an offer for a team, I think it's revolutionary. And obviously we've seen Michael Jordan do it, but I think we need more former players to have the positioning financially to make an offer for a team. And I know that's probably 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, but I believe that's the future of diversifying our ownership group and making it just a lot better league. It's just having former players be able to have ownership in teams and build it from the top bottom because they've been through it. I'm not saying our front office management doesn't know, or I don't want to disrespect any ownership group, but I just think having former players is just as important as having a great business mind to understand how you go from good to great. Yeah. Yeah, I just think after the season, when I actually said that quote, we had a conversation, meaning me, Sean, Joe, upper management, or the front office, and I was just telling them that, you know, I would just love to have more of a shared responsibility if we're going to be building a future here. They gave me all the right answers. Yes, yes, yes. the moment it comes out in the media, it's like, who does this guy think he is? He's going to be in the front office, and that's not the angle I came from. I just wanted to bring in some great guys. I know cohesion, know about winning games, but in this next phase of my career, it's about leading and also following with the right guys around me. So in Brooklyn, I would have loved for things to work out and be there long term. But Dallas, they came calling, and Mark rang my phone, Nico rang my phone, and I'm grateful they did because I know that they wanted me for my work ethic, for my leadership abilities, and also my consistency in what I bring to the team. And I would just like to show that every day. That's it. So judge me off those actions rather than what I'm talking about with management and what, it kind of looks from the outside. Most of the things that you guys hear about is just not true that goes on behind the scenes, or it's 100% true, and it doesn't get reported. So I think I got to find a balance of just knowing that some things are going to be talked about and some things aren't, but how I handle the team and how I handle myself and others is what I can control. I can say this about Luka. He scores the ball extremely well. He gets everybody involved very easily, and he plays at his own pace, as we've said it over the last few years. But I think his IQ is something that I'm really looking forward to learning more about and just picking his brain. He's 23 years old. He's seen a lot, but he still has more room to grow and more room to improve. He's as great as he is now, but just imagine what he's going to look like in 3 years playing with some high-level guys. Hold on. I got to ask the girl first. Give me 1 second. I feel very strongly about our ambitions to winning the championship. I could sit up and say we're going to win one and put it out there, but we have all these great players in the way, and that's the beauty of this game. That's the beauty of this sport. That's the beauty of this profession, is when you could go against the best. And I'm grateful that I'm in the Western Conference now because they say that this is the best conference. It's loaded with guys, loaded with talent. I want to walk up that mountain, and I want to climb up that mountain, and this is what I want for my career. Because winning in the West at this point with all these great young guys that are coming in, and of course the Eastern Conference is competitive. I would have loved to stay there too, but being in the Western Conference, this is the challenge I needed. As an offensive player, the first thing I'm looking at when I'm going against a defensive opponent is just their feet placement, body positioning, hands, where they're placing their hands on my body, and then also their momentum, their strength. How are they pushing me on my hips or on my shoulders or on my feet? Are they getting me off my spot? Have I gotten to my spot I want to be at? So all these questions just go down in a mental breakdown when somebody's in front of me, and then I make a quick decision. So it's a 0.2, 0.1 decision. Go left, go right, shoot, or dribble. Really simple. You said? Oh, yeah, All Even is my company. I don't want to say my company, but it's a company that my stepmom started for me about 3 years ago, and just wanted to teach me the ropes of the business. We've been building together. Her being my agent was the greatest decision I could make for my point in my career. She's helped me a lot. So it's more or less a play on words. When I put them together, All Even and 11, it's the same thing. So I just put the A in front of it for the first letter in the alphabet for 1, and then the 1-1 stands for 11. So. Oh, man. The philanthropic things I'm most excited about is continuing my GoFundMe span of just dropping in onto people's pages and helping out humanity as best I can. The purpose that I serve here on earth is bigger than me, so I have to selflessly pursue things that may not interest everyone else. It may not be their cup of tea. I go into the fire sometimes and want to figure out how we shut everything down and figure it out. And when humanity needs help, I just love to be there because people were there for me. I grew up with a large family in a village that helped me every step of the way, all walks of life. And whenever I had questions, they would be there to answer. And they taught me how to really selflessly serve a community. You do it every day. small acts of kindness go a long way. So if you can move an inch and then continue to work towards your goal, just imagine what you look like a year from now after putting an inch in every single day. So humanity comes first in my household. I love people. I love treating people with respect and helping out as much as I can because I've been blessed and fortunate to be in this position, but I got to pay it forward. Man, I'm going to be angry if Bron doesn't pick me. No, I think what I'm looking forward to is just the competition. Yeah, whoever picks me, picks me. Man, I just think what people have to understand playing with Bron is just, you know, he brings a whole entire village with him of people that have been following and supporting, not liking him for the last 20-plus years, the naysayers, and you have the people that appreciate him. So I don't fence it. I'm a supporter. I've seen the good days, the ups and downs of watching him as a human being, and then also him display his greatness in front of us. So I just honor him with all the superlatives. And when I was playing with him, I had to get used to all the lights and the cameras and the actions. You know, it's just so much that goes on, you know, when you're his teammate, and you just got to get used to it. And not everybody can stand in that position and actually deal with it. So. If I had some advice to a young artist or a young athlete, I would tell them to start with figuring out who they want to be, and surround yourself with family members and relatives that support you unconditionally and support your dream first. If you have people that are using you or taking advantage of you, I've seen it so often in this industry of young guys coming in and not having the right people around them, and they're misguided and they're misinformed. And I can honestly say I was one of them, you know, to a certain point in my career. So until I made that change and actually started taking this serious as a profession and not just as a game that I love to play, and we say the same things all the time, I love to play this game. No, it's a profession, it's a craft that demands that you take it with a seriousness and authenticity of who you are and being a true representation of the community that fought for you to be in this position. So I know my ancestors are proud, and I do everything to make my community proud, standing here as an African man, doing everything possible to pay it forward to the next generation, saying just be yourself, that's enough, and ask the elders around you about the wisdom that they have, because they have a lot to share. So I'm just grateful.
Thanks, y'all.
Coach,